This is a movie called Tough Guy. A huge, shy bodybuilder travels to Thailand in search of the girl of his dreams, against his mother's wishes. The movie begins with the main character, the huge bodybuilder Dennis, looking at himself in a mirror. Having left the restaurant's restroom, he returns. To the table where the girl is waiting, she wonders why he doesn't eat his shrimp cocktail and learns that the guy is allergic to shrimp. Baffled, the guy can't explain why he ordered it, other than the date is so terrible that it's easier to just get drunk. From the conversation, it's clear that the girl owns a beauty salon and the guy is a professional bodybuilder, pumps iron and competes in bodybuilding competitions to show off his muscles. But since competitions don't pay well, Dennis also works part-time as a security guard in a pub. After, the girl's interest drops sharply as she accuses her date of staring at her chest, but he's actually looking at her necklace. Later, sitting in the car, Dennis shakes his head in disappointment. The date was a flop. He heads home, being careful not to wake his mother in the darkness, although to prevent some pent-up passive aggression disguised as. Nonetheless, he manages to defuse the argument. In the morning, that awkward moment when his mother doesn't hesitate to use the bathroom while he's in the shower, clearly showing her disregard for his personal space and opinions. After breakfast with a special nutritional mix, our protagonist is heading out to meet family. Already in the car, his mother asks if he locked the door. Under her pressure, he goes back to check. The family dinner is devoted to introducing the family to Uncle Dennis's wife. He brought her back from Thailand. The hero watches the couple with a slight smile and pale envy. The mother frowns in displeasure as she dislikes both the couple and her son's reaction as he helps carry out the old tradition of cutting the newly wedded husband's sock. In the evening, while teeth brushing, the mother subtly hints to Dennis that his brother's happy look is temporary. At the gym, the hero is lifting weights, but as blood courses through his veins, providing nutrients to his strained arms, his mind is filled with dark thoughts, amplified by the girl that just walked past him from a recent encounter. She doesn't even respond to Dennis's greeting. The hero visits his uncle to help with the cheesecake harvest. His uncle later compensates him for his help. He has gathered some travel brochures about Thailand. Dennis is planning to visit there, so he's getting ready. At home, he is looking up information about hotels where he can stay. Decided, the boy at the gym approaches the girl who rejected him to tell her that she's not his type. She seems quite relieved to hear his words. Energized, Dennis twirls with his partner in front of the mirror. Working out poses, he tells his mom at home that he's going to Germany for a competition. The old woman doesn't like this turn of events. She demonstrates her disapproval by refusing to finish her dinner. In the morning, when her son made breakfast, his mom doesn't even want to leave her bedroom. But this doesn't shake Dennis's decision to leave. After packing his stuff, he goes in to say goodbye. But she is wrapped in a blanket and doesn't want to leave. Pulling on his coat, our hero leaves his home, heading for an adventure. Soon, he's rolling in a taxi through Thailand, and Southeast Asia feels like magic after the harsh Scandinavian climate of his native Denmark. To say nothing of the liberated local girls already at the hotel check-in, the concierge is curious about whether he'll bring anyone to his room because then he'll have to pay extra. But Dennis declines just in case. He needs to find a girlfriend first, even though free contraceptives lie carelessly on the table in his room. Settling in, the hero takes in the view from the balcony, gazing at the exotic country below, filled with possibilities for tourists. Next, he heads off to a local eatery to meet a chap named Scott who was sent by his uncle. It was Scott who introduced the visitor to his new bride and now can help Dennis too. Knowing his preference, the store owner tells him to return in the evening. He'll choose a girl for him. On his way home, the taxi driver suggests stopping by the tailor's. It seems he also dabbles in business for fun. There, they meticulously size up the large tourist from head to toe to have a jacket ready for his night out. The cunning tailor instantly suggests buying two at a discounted price. When Dennis refuses, he hikes the price an extra 1,000 baht, swindling the unsuspecting tourist out of habit. From the hotel, the lad tries to call home to let his mother know he's arrived, but she doesn't answer, leaving him with no choice but to leave a message. After getting the jacket, the hero freshens up and tries on his new attire in front of the mirror, throwing it on over his shorts. He sets off for his meetup, swatting away friendly ladies who wouldn't mind making a buck off the tourist. At the cafe, he is met with a personal greeting from the owner and his guests. Dennis notices that there are lots of foreigners being flirted with by local girls. Soon, one of them heads toward him. The girl confidently and professionally takes charge, chatting up the shy hero and complimenting his muscular physique. The girl asks to see his muscles, which mortifies the guy, forcing him to retreat to the bathroom. However, even there, the uninhibited Thai woman doesn't leave Dennis alone. She follows him inside to check him out, offering to help him dry his interesting areas with a towel. Embarrassing! Moreover, they both return to the hotel, where a cheerful concierge welcomes the guest, reminding him of the extra charge. In the room itself, our protagonist nervously walks around while the guest is taking a shower. Coming out in just a towel, the girl states the prices. This surprises the big-hearted, simple and kind-hearted man. Nevertheless, he agrees to pay. But when the girl is ready to start the business, Des suggests they have a chat to know each other better. As a result, his shyness takes over and he persistently asks the girl to leave, not to engage in the professional activity. When the disappointed guest changes her clothes, the potential customer, having paid, sits alone, calls his mother and listens to the blissful moans of the other more compliant hotel guests. In the morning, he visits the gym, where against his background, skinny locals pump iron. He asks one of the athletes to show him where the plates for the barbell are. While Dennis is loading the barbell, the Thai bodybuilder recognizes him and shows him a trophy stand with an album of newspaper clippings, among which he himself is the hero. He introduces the guest to Toy, the club owner, after which the athletes work out together while giving each other support. On the way, Dennis teaches the Thai some bodybuilding tricks that are important for competitions. After the exercises, Dennis's new friend invites him to have dinner with his friends, but he has his own plans. He goes back to Scott's diner where he meets a new girl and everything repeats in a cycle, like in Groundhog Day. The same questions, the same answers. The evening brightens with a local singer's performance, to the beat of which the guests wave their hands. Looking around, Dennis leaves with a good pretext. On the way, he is surrounded by other girls wanting to earn some extra money, but he wants to be alone. However, after sitting on a bench, he goes to the restaurant at the address given by his friends from the gym. Among athletes who share his passions, Dennis feels more at ease. Even the presence of the gym owner doesn't unsettle him when she asks about his origins. The hero explains without diverting to normal publications. He learns himself that the gym belonged to her husband until Tanya was widowed a few years ago. Dennis shares that he has not married because he has not found his one yet. She encourages him, saying that everything is still ahead. After dinner, the athletes drive off on their mopeds, leaving Tu and Dennis alone. They return home via public transportation. The woman asks along the way if he knows how to ride a moped. The next morning, the two of them go for a ride. They enjoy Thai sights and local cuisine, not forgetting to stop at a temple and bring an offering to the priests. The moped run ends at the beach where Dennis admires her as she emerges from the water in a wet t-shirt that clings to her body. When she suggests a picnic here, the hero tries to kiss her, but the girl pulls away in fear. In frustration, he leaves, but is unable to start his moped in the parking lot. The returned Toy suggests leaving the moped until tomorrow and returning on her wheels. What do? They ride through the evening city together. Saying goodbye near Ote, Toy explains that in Thailand, it's not customary to kiss in public, and subsequently invites him to dinner at her home. Once they get there, instead of eating, they begin to kiss, no longer afraid of more curious eyes. Yet even then, Dennis hesitates and the girl has to be persistent. In the last moment, the hero's nerves fail him and he leaves, apologizing. Outside, he stands in thought in the middle of the night street, then returns and knocks on the door. There's awkwardness. They sit in silence on the bed together, until Dennis admits that he really likes the hostess, and asks permission to stay the night. Despite agreement, they end up sleeping fully clothed. In the next scene, Dennis rides a taxi through the streets of his hometown. He goes home with a suitcase where he finds his mother. They drink tea while Tara asks how the competition went. The son lies that he finished in 6th place, which explains the lack of trophies, but a disgruntled smile. Also, the mother's penetrating gaze does not escape the fresh one, Gar, which is written off as a solarium. However, in addition to the tan and jacket, Dennis brought back a photo of her from the trip. Soon, the hero, together with the realtor, is looking for an apartment. In the evening, unable to sleep because of his overwhelming thoughts, he goes to his mother to talk to him. With a heavy heart, Dennis admits that instead of Germany, he went to Thailand, inspired by his uncle's example in the hope of finding a girl there. Tells her that he met her, but his mother, in the best of her feelings, tells her to go away. In the morning, he stumbles into the kitchen and sees his mother sitting at the table. They are about to have a tough conversation. The woman asks him about a rival who has made moves on her beloved son, but Dennis isn't quite ready to share details about his personal life. Accusations begin to fly that he is lying to his mother and no longer loves her. Not forgetting to mention her disdain for sex tourism, the mother concludes she disapproves of his relationship and demands they break up immediately. She's accustomed to weathering physical hardships, but not psychological ones. Dennis promises to do so, but later meets her at the airport with a beaming smile and flowers. He takes her to an apartment that he discreetly purchased and furnished to avoid introducing her to his mother. Right there, he gives her a pendant before breaking the bad news. His mother has developed a heart condition and he needs to take care of her while she's getting settled in her new place. Of course, the girl despises this situation, but she hides it brilliantly. However, even this ends up being a lie. Everything's okay with his mother, and Dennis returns to her in the evening. The next day, our hero wanders around the shopping mall when he spots his mother not far off. He swiftly dives into the nearest boutique to dodge being found out, but his trick doesn't work. His mother sees her tall son in a lingerie store, and to top it off, she notices someone conversing with her boyfriend. Although the situation got complicated, Dennis could confess everything, but Dennis gallantly lies through his teeth, introducing his girlfriend as his sister, wife, uncle. But even without his participation, the conversation gradually leads to exposure. Then he inquires about the potential mother-in-law's health. Dennis can't come up with anything better than to retreat with the angry screams of his mother echoing in his ears. Immersed in deep thoughts while sitting in the car, he drops off the girl, after which he heads home to figure things out. His mother is in the kitchen, clutching a bloody towel. She got hurt while she was trashing her son's room and the stand holding his awards. Seeing this devastation, the hero sits on the bed, worn out, a lone, stingy tear rolling down his stern face. Sitting at the table, when asked by his mother, he decides to answer, "It's none of your business." She then scolds him and compares him to his father. Dennis warns that the girl will stay in the country, and he himself will be leaving, at which point the woman switches from pressure to manipulation using pity, shedding a tear and carefully bandaging his mother's wounds. The guy collects his hard-earned trophies into boxes, throwing a look at the room that once was like a solitary cell in a psychological prison. Dennis loads his belongings into the trunk, which awaits him in the car, blanking his mother's plea. The guy ignores the request to stay with her and leaves for his new, happier life. The car, packed with belongings, drives away, taking Dennis and Ida to their new home. The camera rises above the road, leaving the heroes alone with their joy. The story ends here.